This is to entirely tell the whole country that having dissected a report, the parliamentary report of the Committee on Defense and Internal Affairs on a petition regarding alleged infringements by the government on the rights of Banyarwanda who were born and raised in Uganda. This report, particularly the recommendations, are hereby vehemently resisted and opposed by the people of Uganda. And as an advocate, I am going to dissect for you the report and give you particularities of why the same should be completely disregarded. And particularly the recommendations thereof on each and every point of petition that was presented by the petitioners. This committee acted as a Gestapo of some sort, as a secret police against the Banyarwanda community. It became a tool of operation against them. And if recommendations of this nature are kept and maintained on the record books of Parliament for consideration, then obviously it is doomsday for the Banyarwanda community. They are all a sum total of bad faith against the plight of Banyarwanda. It is tainted with malice, spite, and malafide. It only fell short of giving details on the date of deportation of all Banyarwanda to an unknown country. Persons born in Uganda, by this report, are declared non-Ugandans, without even naming where they belong, or leave alone attaching evidence of any other nationality for these people, except Uganda. Accordingly, this report should be looked at with the keenest eyes, particularly legal lenses, practicable. Adopted the wrong forum for this petition. Both the forum and the framework were wrong, but the discoveries are right for us to again continue with the matter that we are pursuing for Banyarwanda. I want to call it wrong because the basis of misconduct by what we actually see as misconduct by the Internal Affairs and the MIRA is actually the wrong law, which is being implemented to the dot. And it is being implemented by strict application. So the violations are imminent, but they are based on a wrong law. What therefore lies ahead should be an enactment of the best law to refer to by these correct agencies. So there is a problem. When you petition Parliament, making allegations of violations, you must cite laws being violated. Now, when the laws, particularly Article 10, give details of ancestry and ethnicity, of parentage, as a proof of your own citizenship by birth, which is a wrong framework, then obviously you don't have the proof to give. And the only affected persons now become the roving ethnic communities in Uganda, particularly Banyarwanda. I don't know whether members of the press you are getting this idea. So the idea emanates from Article 10 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. Article 10 details that for you to be a citizen of Uganda by birth, either of your parents or grandparents must have been a member of an indigenous ethnic community in Uganda as at 1st February 1926. So a person is born before 1926. You can imagine that evidence cannot be maintained by an individual person. If there were such records of members of ethnic communities in Uganda by 1926, such a record book would have been maintained by government, and all a citizen ought to have done is to point at where their own record is buttressed. You cannot ask from an individual applicant for identification or a passport to allude to an official document that does not exist, with a view to giving details of membership of his ancestors in such a register that is non-existent. You get me now? So it is the basis of the wrong law that culminates into the wrong action. The actually malodorous actions by internal affairs that are so wrong but lawful. So you get that idea that the actions, for example, if Parliament emerged tomorrow with the law that all firstborns should be killed, somebody cannot emerge and rush to police that his firstborn has been killed. If the killing has been in contemplation, in actual outright implementation of the act that presents for the killing of firstborns, you do not emerge and begin suing that yours has been killed. It is a requirement of the law that firstborns are killed. But the law is wrong. It is unlawful within the precincts of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. So what serious lawyers need to do now is so that once the law is amended, then action is become unlawful. That is what we are doing. That is what we expected members of Parliament to recommend. That is what they did not do. And accordingly, this report serves no purpose for purposes of the problems that the Banyarwanda are facing in Uganda. Points at the influx of who they refer to as immigrants between 1958 and 1959, allegedly from the Republic of Rwanda to the Republic of Uganda. Now, this is to actually succinctly tell the members of the media that we never had such republics during those years. Rwanda got its independence on 1st July 1962. Uganda got its independence on 9th October 1962. None of these two regions were republics. Accordingly, this report on paragraph 1 is erroneous and should be disregarded as a pastime activity. Paragraph number 6 on the findings. The findings were correct on the general analysis of citizenship as by Dr. Baria, who is a professor of law. And on the analysis of Article 10 on citizenship by birth and other categories. That is on page 5. This is exactly what I have been telling you. They were correct on analysis given by other people, except recommendations given by members of Parliament. I find that an improper hoity-toity. Therefore, our recommendations continue to succinctly and radically be that we must amend Article 10. Article 10 has got to be amended to remove any sociological application to determination of citizenship by birth, to remove any parentage or ancestral reference to citizenship by birth, to remove any historical reference to a citizenship by birth, but to only be proof of where you were born in order to determine which country you belong to. That is a citizen by birth. South Africa and many other jurisdictions. A lot of people say it applies in America, but when you say so, which is actually correct, it sounds too far. We are talking about East African Community Partner States. That is what must be controlled to by the Parliament of the Republic of Uganda. Page number 6 applies with equal force. So, the responsibility to demonstrate a person's eligibility to citizenship by birth has been left to the applicant. That is illegal within the meaning of international law. International law, particularly when you look at the findings by the African Court on Human and People's Rights, under the case of Anudo Achienga Anudo versus the Republic of Tanzania, it is the duty of the one alleging that you are a non-national to prove that you are not. It is not your duty to prove the allegations by immigration. Your application is succinct and it is full and final. Where you have exhibited a national ID, you must be given a passport. Where you have exhibited recommendation letters right from the village of proof of birth, you should be given a national identification document. Whoever disputes that area must prove the contrary, not you. Finally,